Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video and your daily morning update on Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update, obviously, on the current structure and the current position of Bitcoin. Overnight, we had a couple of very relevant moves. And there's in general a couple of things you need to know about. First and foremost, of course, that, today we have some data coming out. With the ISM Services PMI and S&P Global Services PMI that could short-term provide some volatility, but I don't expect too much of it. And I'll also cover this during my middle of the day market update, so don't worry about that too much. But Wednesday we have the FOMC meeting, of course, with the interest rate decision and the press conference afterwards. That's important, all right? Not necessarily today, of course, but that still has an effect on the price action today as well. And as we've spoken about on Saturday and Sunday, that is most likely also one of the reasons we're seeing a bit of a sell-off right now, which is the first sell-off we've seen like this, basically since the bottom we made at the beginning of April. So it's quite relevant, and the price action overnight was also not great. We've broken back into this balance we were in before between 95,400 to the upside and 93,600 to the downside. Those levels, or at least the main support level there, has been respected so far. So I will have to assume that we are in balance and that therefore we are neutral. But obviously this is the first time, like I said, since the bull run started, and I can better explain this. Well, if I zoom out a bit, I can explain it as well with the price action itself. What you can see is that we had balance right here. We broke out. We gained some balance right here. And then we broke back down. And this is the first time that happened, like I said, since we made that bottom. The only other time that we consolidated, it ended with a bullish breakout. So therefore, this is the first bearish structure shift that we have seen. And that is definitely something noteworthy. And I would also say that so far the price action isn't very convincing. The one thing that makes me think, all right, well, we can still have a push up, is that we have a major imbalance right here at 95,400. We have a fair value gap there. It's the top of the range, and we hit the bottom of the range. So therefore, there's a bit of a magnet to it. And then we haven't even spoken about that huge CME gap that we have to the upside. Right. So definitely in the long term, something like this will get filled. I would think. But on the short term, we will need a lot of bullish momentum to fill all these imbalances, right? Because we basically have imbalances which tend to get filled historically from 97,500 down to 95,000. And I would doubt, given the strength that we're seeing so far from the markets, that those will get filled on the short term. Because what we're seeing as well, like I said, fundamentally, of course, we have that FOMC meeting coming up on Wednesday. But then outside of that, we're also seeing a bit of a Coinbase Bitcoin discount slip into the price. We know Michael Saylor last week bought a lot of Bitcoin, which is not great, right? You would much rather see some organic growth. So even though I think technically for now 93,800, 93,600 is a great support, and I do think, especially during the US opening, that we can still feel that imbalance to the upside here at 95,400, but we would need a lot of strength to break out above that level. And unless I actually see that strength coming in over the course of mainly the US session today, I don't expect much during the European session. Unless I see that, I'll have to assume that I expect us to fill some of that imbalance here towards 95,400. I don't expect us to fill the CME gap. Completely at least, but some of it probably yes. But then from there I do expect rejection and at least a drop into 93,700. And if we actually don't see a strong opening from the S&P 500, I think a breakdown here below 93,600 is also on the table, although I think right now it's a bit too early to talk about that. All right, so short term, I do think we can fill that imbalance to the upside. We can only break above that if we have a lot of volume coming in, and at this point of time, that's not apparent that we'll have that, given the Coinbase Bitcoin price. So from there, given the current circumstances, I expect some stability, but ultimately a rejection. And then the main test will be at that level right here at 93,600. But I'll keep you updated on that. For now, at least, that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.